Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 490. I am your host, Keith Andrew, the one and only Keith Andrew. I'm here as the talented and beautiful Linda Zollo. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you, Keith. I'm happy to be here.
Now the honor's all mine. Now, for people who want to know what my talk show's about, hopefully my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. And never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. It's prove to them you can still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. That being said, half hour, 33 minutes of your time, normal conversation, uncensored, freedom of speech, self-expression, say anything you want, talk about whatever you want. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I have an awesome cat that's crawling around right now, Lucius Maximus. He's my sidekick. I've been doing acting probably for about 3 years now here in Atlanta. I had this burning desire that just would not go away, and I saw the industry was here and decided to give it a shot and did some background work and immediately fell in love the first day on set.
Now, before I ask you the acting career, I'm going to ask you some easy questions.
Okay.
And starting off, when you were in high school, so when you were growing up in high school, did you ever do any sports? And in college, were you study nerd or party animal?
Okay, so in high school, I played softball, and I have brothers and two sisters, so 3 brothers, 2 sisters. And in between, 2 brothers got me to be very tomboy-like. As far as, now what was I party or nerd? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
we could put a study nerd or party animal.
I would say a mixture of both.
What about, did he ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or not into the whole human pyramid stuff?
No, I think maybe when I was way younger during cheerleading. That's about it.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser. Would he ever be interested in doing one, or is that not something you're not interested in?
A human pyramid? Sure, why not?
Hey, don't knock it till you try it, right?
I think it'd be a lot of fun. I would probably need to be closer to the top, though. I might fall through and cause it to tumble.
So, on the subject, what would be your favorite pyramid? Would it be like a small one or a big one?
I would say a big one.
So you mean like a 10-person, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like I said, I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
No, not at all. That's a very cool question. It gets your mind thinking.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, who influenced you to start your acting career, and how many years have you been acting?
So I would say a couple of movies when I was younger. One that had a huge impact on me was Kramer versus Kramer. Not knowing the great career that Meryl Streep has or would have started back then having. Big fan from day one. That movie really hit me in my heart. And I was a child when I saw it, but it was still very impactful. The other would be Xanadu. Just the fantasy of it and being able to put yourself in that position and really come to be affected by that just really got me going and thinking about movies and the imagination and dreaming things in my own mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess for me, well, it's a real mixture of everything. When I first saw Almost Famous, and that's about 2004, 2005, automatically I said, I want to be a personal assistant. I want to go on tour. I want to be a roadie, personal assistant. Then I want to go on road with the wrestlers. Then, that fell through. And I thought it wasn't really realistic. In about 2011, I came across a TV show, Suits. And I'm like, that's what I want. I want to have a boss like Harvey Specter. I want to be like Mike Ross. I want to do like everything like Suits. And with that being said, you know, I tried acting classes, and I was going to ask you this for your next question. Have you ever took any acting classes, or would you recommend them?
Oh my goodness. Yes. So in high school, I took drama and loved it so much. And just after high school and everything, I didn't follow through with it. And it was a burning desire that just did not go away. And so when I decided to do this and I did that background role, I was, like I said, fell in love as soon as I was on set and just really like lit up and came to life. So I started researching and was like, okay, so now what's the next step? Obviously, I need to get educated on doing this. And one of my first classes that I took was here in Atlanta at Drama Inc. with Aaron Burns, and it was the Meisner Method or technique. Um, and it was amazing. It taught me so much, and I'm still learning. That was in 2000, I want to say 16, when I started that class. And I did the track twice. And you can do it again because you're going to constantly learn. She's an excellent teacher. And now I'm enrolled over at Rob Mello's studio with Jason Warner Smith, and he teaches the Strasbourg method. So that's a method. And it's got a little bit of other things mixed in, Stella Adler, and there's the, oh my goodness, now I just went blank on the other person, but just so many cool things in that class as well. So right now I'm working on a scene out of the Days and Nights of Phoebe Fenstermaker. So,
No, that's amazing.
yeah.
And
It,
I tried taking some acting classes, and I was kind of like, all right, 600 for semester one, and then you have like a little paper saying you're certified. Took the classes, and then it's like semester two was another 2,400. I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying
oh,
$3,600 for this. And then I was like, well, instead of using my disability as a crutch, why not see if that can open any doors for me? And there you go. This is how it all started. That's one of the stories, anyway.
that's really cool. Yeah. I feel like if you get into a class that's really inspiring and you're learning and um, you're getting something out of it, then the investment's worth it. But if it's just them saying, okay, yeah, you took this class, here's your certificate, and you can put on your resume, that's really not going to help you out. You need to, like, and I say you, like for whoever's listening, like audit these classes, sit in a lot of classes will let you audit and see if it's a fit, because I've gone through a couple of different coaches and none of them were bad. It just wasn't a connection, and when you find the ones you connect with, because it really excites you and it keeps you wanting to go because you're getting something out of it. So the investment is the payoff, is the when you do your work and it shows through, and you feel confident.
No, absolutely. Now, my next question I was going to ask you is, have you, besides me, have you ever worked with people with disabilities? And are you willing to work with people with disabilities?
I'm trying to think. I don't believe I've had the opportunity, but I've been in a class that I audited, and there was a couple of people that had disabilities. I'd love to. Actually, for me, it's not like a block. It's just working with another person. So I don't look at it as someone with a disability. That one of the classes that in Meisner, it does. He wants you to touch on some of those things as far as impediments. So that was you come to class and you like you would craft if you were blind or craft if you were deaf, and I chose to do Tourette's, and it was very, very enlightening, and the passion of that just watching and researching on it really touched on me. And when I did the scene, Erin was just pretty much silent afterwards, and she was like, wow, you just really set the bar, because I really immersed myself into the role. And to me, that's one side of it right? So then the other side is actually working with someone with a disability. And to me, it would just be um, touching on their human emotions, just like you would if someone who doesn't have a disability, because we're all human. So that's where the connection comes from for me.
No, absolutely. And so, like I said in the beginning, it's about showing them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and to prove to them you can break the labels.
Yes, I agree completely.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you, that's without hurting myself because I just forgot what I was going to ask,
It's okay.
is have you ever done any commercials? And have you ever done any featured films or just independents?
So commercials, I've done an industrial commercial. It was basically just to run through with physicians. That was dealing with rheumatoid arthritis, which they were touching on people who are on the verge of it. So I was able to relate with that a little bit. My brother, he's on the verge of it. So that was kind of a touching moment for me. Nothing feature film wise. I have done some independent films, and I actually just wrapped. We're doing the sound now. We're in final post for the short film that I wrote, California. Um, I ended up directing it, and I'm in the movie, so it's kind of. I don't want to sound like I'm narcissistic because the movie actually, the way I wrote those scenes was every time you see me, it's not about me, meaning Connie. It's about her life and her struggles and what she's going through, and every person that she interacts with. If the focus is more on that than and the story.
No, understandable. Like when I did the talk show, it's not about me, even though it is a little bit, but it's not actually about me, it's about the guests. And that's
Yeah.
proving a message.
Yes. And that actually, California definitely has a message in it. And we're doing a benefit next month. And it's going to be partnered with the Georgia Coalition Against Domestic Violence. So we're going to raise awareness for that and raise money for that to go to the coalition.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Now, my next question I was going to ask you is how do you feel about social media? Because you're an actress, do you think that has an impact on your career or do you think it's just relevant?
So for me, okay, because you hear different things all the time. Oh, build your network, build your numbers, and all that. For me, social media is just another way to connect with other people, like how I met you. I would have never met you if it wasn't for social media. And I use social media to empower other people. And if you ever look at my feed, it's always positive. I just scroll past all the negatives, and I like to promote other people. So that's huge for me. I'm a big fan of other people, and social media is an excellent way to share and give to others.
No, absolutely. For an example, what is some of your favorite social media websites? Like, if you had to think your top five, if it wasn't for these top five, you wouldn't be doing for what you're doing. So, is it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn? What is your go-to social media?
Okay, so I use Facebook a lot, and Facebook I use that for sharing other films that I'm fans of and friends of mine, promoting other friends. I use it to stay in touch with close friends and family. And it's a great tool like for Facebook Live and things like that. So Facebook is more personal for me. I love Instagram for its neatness of it and like the creativity side, like taking your photos and making it pretty, and also again promoting and meeting other people. My Instagram right now is not very large as far as my posts go. I have way more posts on Twitter and Facebook, but I love Instagram for its what's the word I'm trying to find? It's the layout of it, the grids, and
Yeah.
making it like really pretty and artsy, um, and connecting. And then Twitter, I love, love, love Twitter for its capability of meeting other people. I mean, I have so many Twitter followers in the UK, and I've never even been there, but it's just this nice connection, and I interact with my followers. I don't just like say, oh, follow me. I share and I retweet and I respond. As far as like my following, I've grown them every single one of them organically. I don't just put stuff out there. I go through and I interact. So, and a lot of times Twitter is, I think, where you can find followers through some kind of company. I
Yeah.
don't do that. And my go-to person for that that's helped me to figure out how to use social media is Heidi Dean, and she's marketing for actors, social media marketing for actors, and she is amazing. So if you find that you're stuck and you're trying to build, seek out Heidi Dean. She is awesome.
Hey, maybe she would be interested in helping me out.
Yeah, she's great. She is very interactive with her. I don't want to say clients. I would just say her following and her rock stars, because that's what she calls us, her rock stars.
Now, my next question is, how do you feel about, well, actually about social media, but let's turn that around. How do you feel about the online market? Do you think that's killing the retail market? For an example, I'm working at Toys R Us, and Toys R Us is going out of business. Do you think it's because of Amazon, Target, Walmart, or do you think people are just in this bubble of saying they're just lazy and they don't want to go out and socialize?
Well, I am like one of the last people to really use Amazon to buy things. I'm a more of a touchy feel, so I want to go in, try things on, look at it, touch it, hold it, smell it. It's just for me, I like to interact and go to stores. Now, sometimes I don't want to go into the store and I don't want to go shopping, so it kind of relates to that. But I make my list and then I just go. So I try to do like my shopping in one day. As far as Toys R Us, I will say I was always overwhelmed by that store. um, I like Target and places like that where it's not so overwhelming and you can go in and have an idea. Now, I don't have children, so I didn't have to use it to the full extent as a parent would. But as far as like birthday shopping or for my niece when she was younger and things like that, going into Toys R Us again, it was kind of overwhelming. But I guess maybe the way it was set up, because there's the original toy stores that were not so big and they were fun to go into as a
Right.
kid. You can kind of get lost and have fun in there. So yeah, and it's sad
Funny
that it's
story.
closing. Maybe just downsize, make them a little smaller.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was just saying, I just like for Toys R Us, it's sad because I don't really want them to close down, but just
Right.
make them smaller, a little more personal again. And I think that's what we're missing is people are like, well, I'm not getting a personal touch, so why not just go online? It's more of a personal experience interaction. I'm doing it all myself. Um, so I think the big box stores, maybe that's what's happened. When I was growing up, the mall, you'd go there and they'd have the smaller toy stores and things like that, and it was fun.
No, I agree with you. And I said recently, I heard there's a rumor of someone buying up Toys R Us, or the stalker at least. And I said yesterday to my boss, that's a good idea. Close all the big stores. You don't need any big stores. Keep the small ones, and the small ones would be easier to maintain.
Yeah, I agree. And you can make it personal again. And that's the thing too. When you go into the stores, a lot of times people are like right away, "Oh, can I help you?" "No, I'm fine." And instead of making a personal connection to where you want to be helped and they want to help you, so there's all that sales stuff, I guess. But I think it's about having a personal touch. So, I used to
Can,
be in sales, so I'm familiar with it.
well, can you give us a perfect example what you mean with a personal touch?
So, like, I'll use a clothing store as an example. You get the generic, hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? I'm good. Sometimes I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to be bothered because I feel like they're just going to push, 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 and they don't know my style. Um, so I like when they come over and they're genuine. You can really tell when someone's being real and they want to help you. I understand they're working, but
Yeah.
if their job is to sell, then you want that genuine side to come out. And if it's not a good fit, send a different associate over to help you. And, ask the questions, find out the personality. I mean, I've been in stores where people will bring over certain things and I'm like, I would never wear that. And I'm like, and they get frustrated with me because they're like trying and trying. I'm like, okay, well, I pull out, this is kind of what I'm looking for. So let's work around this.
Understandable. And I'm like that too. I walk over, hey, how are you? If you need anything, let me know. And if they say something that catches my interest, I'm like, oh, okay. I don't walk away. I jump into it. For an example,
Yeah.
one thing that drives people crazy is, say, so the store's closing. What you gotta do? You gotta get another job? No, it's not my things to do list. I'm working on my talk show. Oh, you have a talk show. And I end up talking about them, then walk away, and my bosses are like, you can't talk about that. What, you got a problem with people with disabilities? But like you said, it's interacting with people and just saying, okay, it's not about business. You're trying to have the in between.
Yeah. That connection, for sure.
Now we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come
Okay.
back, I'm gonna pass the show over to you.
Awesome.
Very.
Arlene Schofield.
My name is Shireen Snow.
My name is Carla A. Miles.
Diana Camuto.
This is Christine Dunford.
I'm me, Eden.
Caroline Macy. This is Walker Fannin.
Maria Camille Dixon.
I'm a dates for them.
My name is Linda Presson, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Me, Mark Medley.
Hi everybody, this is Mark Neely.
Barry Papick.
This is Peter Bruno.
My name is Kyle Collier.
This is Julio Santiago, better known as Dynamite.
I'm Richard Epcar.
Orange Chow.
This is Kerrigan Mahan.
This is Goldner.
And we both support
Keith Andrew.
My name is Ron Wasserman, and I am supporting Keith Andrew and what he is doing, and you better do the same, or I'm gonna come kick your ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Keith Andrew, the one and only Keith Andrew, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. It's episode 490. We are on a road to 500. I'm here. It's a talented and beautiful Ms. Linda. I just want to say thank you for sticking with us.
Thank you very much.
Now, during the break, I just remember a funny incident that happened yesterday at my job. But with that being said, passing the show over to you, do you have many funny stories you'd like to share? And if this is your time.
Oh my goodness, funny stories. That can be anything. Help me out here.
For an example, I didn't mean it as, as an insult to this woman yesterday. The dog came in. The woman came in with the dog, and it was a cute dog. It was, I think, Alaskan or Australian. It was very cute and big and poofy.
Yeah.
And I noticed the dog was scratching, and I felt bad. But yeah, I started scratching myself. Like if you start scratching, I start scratching, and I said, "Oh, the dog okay? Maybe it has fleas." And all of a sudden, I hear across the room, my boss goes, and and it's like, no, dog's not fleas. And he says he can't. That was an insult. I didn't say it's an insult. If I was going to insult her, it's like, maybe your wife has fleas. But I know, I'm like straight edge. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I have no filter. I walk to the beat of my own drum. If something pops in my head, I'm just going to blare it out.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
And I actually thought the dog had fleas because I walk, stop, scratch, walk, stop, scratch. Oh, dog probably has fleas. And so he got annoyed and he thought I was being insultive. But it's like, it's not like I'm saying, hey buddy, does your wife have fleas or something? I was just saying to the dog,
The dog, yeah.
I don't know.
No, I get it. I mean, it's a very standard question, I would think, if it's scratching that much.
That's true. I work with a lot of assholes, and that goes back to the online thing. Do people want to go shop online or do shop in person? And I would love to shop with you in person because we have good chemistry. But at the same time, there's other people where you would meet. You're like, yeah, I would like to keep you at arm's length, or you don't want to actually interact with them. So I do see the debate we're saying. There are some people like us you want to work with, and there's some people you're like, yeah, no.
Right. And when you're shopping, it's a personal experience, and sometimes you don't want to share if you're not feeling that connection and jive with the person you're talking to. Especially if it's a big purchase, like a car. You want the right salesperson working with you.
That's true. What about you? You have any funny stories?
Gosh, I sound like I don't. It's just I feel so on the spot. I can't think of anything.
Well, I'm the same way too. I think myself as a boring person, but I can tell stories about other people, and if it's funny, then I realize, yeah, I'm telling stories about my brother and my family, and I realize about myself, like, I'm really freaking boring. So that's why I go and do things, and it's kind of like, why did he go do it? It's like, well, I like making my own excitement.
There you go. Yes, indeed.
But you did mention you wanted to promote your writing?
Yes, I actually am taking a screenwriting class right now, and it's going very well. It's about how to write a profound script. And so I'm starting on a new script that's dealing with a young woman who is very timid. She's recently graduated from law school, and she's having to do an investigative, I don't want to say trial, but she's investigating for her trial. Her best friend had committed suicide because of an incident that happened while they were in college together. So there's a nice twist to it in the end, but it's a thriller, and I'm just in the beginning stages of it. Now, I did just finish, I think I mentioned about California. That script started off as just me trying to make footage for my reel, and it ended up growing. It didn't stop. And now it is a 20-minute short film that will be going into film festivals. It does deal with domestic violence, but that's not the focal point of it. It has basically what I say. It's a parent's love knows no boundaries, and what she'll do, she'll go to any length to protect harm to her son. I'm really excited. We've got a really nice soundtrack that I actually got music licensing for a track that I've been working on it probably for about a year now. And now that we're in the final stages of sound, I was like, I need this. And I just got confirmation yesterday. So it's going to be in the film, and it just has a really cool element to it. I like when I'm writing, I see the movie from beginning to end, and while I'm writing, I also hear music and feel like everything, like it just all like flows inside of me, and I'm just like writing, and now that I'm taking this screenwriting class, it's cool because now I have more structure and I can write something more profound and a full feature. That's my goal, to do a full feature this time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're interested, maybe you would like to write about me. Just an idea.
We can definitely talk about that for sure. I'm sure your life has a lot of cool elements and a story that definitely needs to be told.
Well, a lot of people think so, but I don't think so. I think I'm pretty boring.
No. You got a talk show. What are you talking about?
Now, wrapping up our talk show, I do have a couple questions for you off the air.
Okay.
But the first question I was going to ask you is, I know I asked you before, but are you on social media? How can people follow you? Are you on LinkedIn, Twitter, States32? How can your fans follow you?
Okay, so I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Linda A. Zollo, and Facebook, it's Linda A. Zollo. I have a LinkedIn page, but it's more from when I was not acting, so that's got to be updated. And I have a YouTube channel that's not really used right now, so no need to promote that one. But my main three is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the next question I was going to ask you, actually while on the subject, would you ever be interested in cross-promoting?
Oh, yeah. I do that all the time anyway, so definitely.
Hey, you help me, I help you.
Yeah, for sure.
And the last question I was going to ask you is, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction and what made you say yes?
Well, I was honored. I was thinking, wow, I guess I have enough of a presence that made you intrigued and wanted to do the interview. And then, of course, I went to your site and checked it out and was very impressed with it. And I feel like what you're doing is a wonderful thing for yourself, for people in the industry, and for people with disabilities, and for anyone that's not having the confidence to follow their dreams and passions. You're giving it to them, that inspiration.
No, absolutely. Now, I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road and wrapping up our interview segment. It was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to building a friendship with you as well.
Thank you so much, Keith. I enjoyed it very much.